Hey guys, we are looking at work on complex numbers, and yes, I'm sure you love it too. So let's get into it. We're going to start by simplifying some expressions of surds. Working with real numbers is the first skill that we need to know how to do. So the first one here involves addition and subtraction of surds. Okay, so remember we can only add and subtract surds when they have the same square root value. Okay, so we might want to simplify each first and then add and subtract. So by doing so, we will get something along the lines of this, and then we can take the square root of our squared numbers inside here, there and there, and here we've got two common surds there that we're going to subtract. Very good, so that's 4 subtract 6 to give negative 2 root 3 plus 4 root 6. Okay, now here is a double bracket multiplication involving surds. So we expand the brackets, and we're going to have 4 terms multiplying, and these are the 4 terms. Okay, now simplifying that will give us, the first term will give us a 6. Root 3 times root 5 gives us the root 15. And for the third term, make sure you go 2 times 2 first to get the 4. And then the last term, the root 5 times root 5. Well, that gives you whole number 5 times 2, and that gives you 10. Fantastic. That simplifies nicely. Okay, now we're going to divide surds. So in doing a process of division, we are doing something called rationalizing the surd, or rationalizing the denominator, the part at the bottom. Okay, turning it into a rational number, removing that square root from the denominator. And how do we go about doing that? Well, looking at the first one, question 1, 2 over 1 plus root 3. Remember, we have to multiply by a fraction that has a value of 1, and that fraction is going to be made up of the conjugate of this denominator on top of itself. So it'll be 1. It'll be the same as multiplying by 1 minus root 3 on 1 minus root 3. Now think about it as expanding brackets. That gives you your numerator, and then your denominator is here 1 plus root 3 times 1 minus root 3. Well, that's a useful structure called difference of two squares, and an expansion of that is the same as the first number squared minus the second number squared. And if we follow that expansion structure, then we can carry that out really quick, and we use this shortcut. Okay, and that gives you negative 1 plus root 3. Let's do the next one. So again, the conjugate of root 2 minus root 3 is root 2 plus root 3. Let's do bracket expansion. And the first one is the numerator becomes 6 plus 3 root 6, and the denominator is again difference of two squares, so it's the first number squared minus second number squared. And divide negative 1 just makes the signs of each both go negative. Negative 6 minus 3 root 6. And finally the third example. Multiply by the conjugate of the denominator on top of itself. That has a value of 1, so we haven't changed our fraction expression in any way. Now we've got double bracket expansion on the numerator and denominator. That's going to give you 4 terms. and difference of two squares in your denominator. There you go. Simplify. And there it is. And at this point we can just separate each term and write it as 7/3 and 2 root 10/3. Okay, fantastic. So how do you think you went with addition, multiplication, and division involving surds?